I didn't believe in surprises anymore. Life had trained me to expect the predictable, comfortable schedules, safe relationships, no fireworks, no sudden disruptions, until I met her. Her name was Lila. We met at a friend's art show. I wasn't even supposed to go. I had plans, routine, a quiet Thursday night that guaranteed nothing would change. She was standing near a canvas I didn't understand, not looking at me, just smiling at something I couldn't see. "You look like someone who's avoiding the obvious," she said. I wasn't sure I should answer, but somehow I did. We talked about the painting, then the artist, then everything except ourselves. I noticed she had a way of noticing small things about me, the way my hands rested on the glass, how I tilted my head when I didn't understand a joke, the way I avoided questions about myself. "You're careful," she said finally. "And careful is fine until it stops you from feeling." I laughed, not out of humor, out of recognition, because she was right. We met again the next week, coffee this time, and again the week after. Not too much, not too little, enough to keep the thought of her in my head. Something about her was simple and impossible at the same time. Not like chaos, not like distraction, just a presence that reminded me I could still be unsettled. I liked that feeling. I hated that feeling. One evening, we walked along a quiet street, city lights blurred in puddles from a recent rain. She asked me, "What do you want when you can have anything?" The question hit me harder than I expected, because I didn't have an answer. Not one I could say out loud without sounding like a lie. I tried something safer. "I want to be consistent," I said. "I want to know I'm not failing." She smiled, like she knew exactly what I was doing, exactly what I was avoiding. "You can be consistent, or you can feel alive," she said. "But you can't do both at the same time." That night, I realized she was asking me to choose before I was ready. Not between her and nothing, but between comfort and change, between old patterns and something unknown. I told myself I'd have time, weeks, months, time to figure out what I wanted before it mattered too much. The next morning, a message from her waited. Short, direct, open quote, "I'm glad you're still avoiding it. Makes me wonder if you ever will." Close quote. I didn't respond because answering meant moving. And moving meant leaving safety behind. Days passed, but I noticed her in everything. In my routine, in my commute, in the quiet moments when nothing demanded attention. I started thinking about the consequences of choices I hadn't made, about the life I had structured to avoid risk, and the life she might force me to consider. And that's when I understood something important. I could stay in my comfort, or I could start paying attention. Next week, I kept replaying her words in my head. "You can be consistent, or you can feel alive. But you can't do both at the same time." It haunted me more than I wanted to admit. I realized I had been living in the same apartment with the same job for years. Comfortable routines, predictable evenings, safe conversations that never scared me. And yet, I had never felt truly awake. She called on a Wednesday. "Coffee?" she asked. Simple, direct. The kind of invitation that required honesty, whether I was ready or not. I said yes. We met at a small cafe downtown. Rain pattered on the windows, soft and insistent. She smiled at me, not questioning, not challenging, just present. I wanted to tell her everything, but I didn't know how to start. About my fear, about my hesitation, about the years I spent avoiding risk. "You've been quiet," she said. "Yes," I admitted, "because speaking means deciding." She nodded. "You always have a choice," she said, "even when it feels impossible." We walked after coffee through streets glistening with rain, through puddles reflecting neon signs I usually ignored. I realized that this city, this life, had always felt safe, but it had never felt mine. "You don't have to make a grand gesture," she said. "You just have to start choosing." Her words were calm, but they carried weight. Weights I hadn't wanted to bear. That evening, I sat alone, thinking. replaying months of small moments, the way she watched me, the questions she asked, the patience she never wasted, and the fact that she was already moving, even if I wasn't. The next morning I called her. Not a text, not a message I could edit. I asked her to meet me. She agreed. No hesitation, no judgment. When I saw her, I felt the full weight of my indecision. I could see the life she was offering, uncertain, risky, alive, and the life I'd been clinging